So hopefully this is the last time I ever talk about this topic because I'm getting tired of talking about it as well. And I just want to make a decision and be done with it so I can start planning and moving ahead with what needs to get done, what life will look like. So once I make a decision, I can get out of this indecisive state and start planning for what the next step is, how to move forward, not just being stuck in this limbo. And that's what I feel like right now. But it's getting closer to the point where I think I'm going back, because I know a couple of videos ago I had said that, oh, there were signs showing that I shouldn't go back because I'm going to be met with some of the same situations that were part of the reasons why I left. So what was making me think that I saw signs that I shouldn't go back was that I was going to be met with the same family drama that is a reoccurring theme. And I was like, oh, do I really want to go back to that? Is this a sign that I shouldn't go back? And then I started to reflect on it, and I was like, at the end of the day, what's the most important? Like I've been saying over and over, the help is the most important. So what does that mean? That I got to handle those situations and stay out of it as much as I can, not get myself involved in situations. So it's just about like staying out of it as much as you can. If it has nothing to do with you, you don't need to be a part of it. And if it does have to do with you, then you'll deal with it in a mature way that you've been handling situations, and not be so reactive and not take it so personally, and all these things that you've learned. Like you'll take those tools and deal with it in a new way. But our family is our biggest trigger. So even though we've changed and all these things that we've gained through healing, they can still trigger us because there's still leftover childhood trauma that lingers that we're constantly trying to deal with and overcome. So when they do or say something that's similar to the past, then our natural reaction is wanting to be emotional and make an emotional reaction instead of taking a step back and being logical. And it's not about being perfect all the time. Like there's going to be moments where you slip and you act from an emotional state, and that's okay as long as you're aware of it and you choose to be better next time, and you choose to acknowledge how it makes you feel, but don't get overwhelmed in it. It's not the end of the world. We're still learning, we're still growing, we still have to challenge ourselves and put ourselves in situations. It's like reacting emotionally is the same way, if that's your thing that most of us struggle with, that when someone says something that gets under our skin, we react emotionally. And the thing is that just like leaving a toxic relationship, you don't leave it at first. You have to put your hand in the fire 100 times before you actually decide to leave that toxic relationship. And once you've left it, and once you've realized that wasn't good for you, and that love is gone, then you don't put your, and that love is gone and it's not healthy, you don't go back to it. When you do go back to that, your body's rejecting that person because they know that this is not a good situation for you. So once you realize all that, you leave that toxic relationship and you don't go back to it once you put your hand in the fire enough times to realize, no, this is not good for me. So the same way with things that you're struggling with, like emotional reactions. You're gonna have to burn yourself 100 times till you realize that this is not serving me, this is not helping me. And by being consciously aware of it, praying about it, and seeing yourself in that situation, it gets to the point where you see where you're about to be emotionally reactive, and you're like, this is a choice I'm making right now, whether I'm going to act emotionally reactive or I'm going to stop myself. And the more times that you stop yourself, the more times that it becomes a habit that you no longer do because you're choosing to stop yourself. It's a choice at the end of the day. We all have triggers. It doesn't mean that our triggers go away, but it's a choice of how we react, whether we're going to react it or not. So yes, I'm putting myself in a situation that is going to be stressful at times, that's going to have triggers, but at the same time, it's worth it because of the help that I'll get. Like, I don't want to live in isolation anymore. I could build a community here, but it's not the community that I want. I want what I know, basically. That's what it comes down to. I want the kids to be in a community that they know. I want me to be in a community that I know. And I had a completely different perspective last year. I was like, I can do this alone, and this is going to be. But at the same time, here has triggers, and here has pressure, and here has stressful things, and being in isolation, all these things that don't fulfill me. And I've been choosing to stay in this because of the hope and the faith that it will get better. And I'm constantly making choices to not let the things that stress me out overwhelm me here. So who's to say when I go there, I can't apply that same thing that I've learned here, there, like not letting things stress me out. So the point is that you're gonna have stress. Everywhere you go, you're gonna have to deal with some level of stress. It's just whether you let it overwhelm you and make you feel like you want to give up, or whether you choose to process the emotion, let the emotion pass, and then tackle it. Let your brain come up with a solution. Do the things, ground yourself in nature, go on a walk, exercise, do anything to get yourself in a state where the anxiety and the stress is not consuming you, where you can't make a decision. So it's like what I was saying before. Like before, when I had this thought of going back, it was filled with, oh my God, it's all going to be overwhelming stress. I can't deal with it. It's not time yet. But now that I'm having the thought, it's like I'm trying not to. I'm trying to push it aside, but my body keeps reacting and my mind keeps reacting. It keeps surfacing. And there's a reason for that. When something keeps coming to your mind and you're not having control over those thoughts, and there's a reason. The universe wants you to see something that you're trying to avoid. So now it's getting to a point where the thoughts of going back are more peaceful. It's not this uncomfortable feeling in my stomach, this gut, this like I wanted to throw up with making the decision. It wasn't, I thought that it was because of going back, that's why I felt like I wanted to throw up, but it was the idea of, I don't know what to do. I don't want to make this decision. I want to throw up just even thinking about making this decision, whether it's staying or going, that was making me want to throw up. And that's why I say you can't rush. You have to take your time with making the decision, because more ideas will come to you and you need to feel at peace about the decision. Whereas right now, for me, it's the peace is coming from, it's not that I'm going back because I feel like I can't do it here. I can do it. I proved to myself for 9 months that I can do it. The point is that I don't want to do it like this anymore. I don't want to be in isolation. I want to give my kids more opportunities. I want the support system and help to be able to do all these. And I want to gain the financial stability knowing that I have help on my side. But it's not me just doing all alone, picking up the kids, doing all these things and trying to work and balancing. And what if I can't get them at this time because the job that I have is making me stay longer? At least I know I have my mom's support that could help with that. So it's just that comfort blanket of knowing that I have the support when I need the support. Whereas here, I have no comfort blanket to lean on when I need it. So that's why it's so important not to listen to outside noise. Yeah, you can hear people's advice, take it in, but at the end of the day, you gotta trust your gut, what your gut is telling you. If it's saying that, hey, both places are stress and pressure, but one place you have help that will alleviate some of the stress and pressure, then that means that you did what you needed to do, you healed, you did everything, you gained the tools that you needed to. You'll never be fully healed, but it doesn't mean that you stay somewhere until you're 50 years later and you're healed. So it's like, do what feels right for you, because you have to live with the choices that you make. And if you live based on what other people tell you you should or shouldn't do, then you have to live with that regret or guilt that, hey, I should have acted on that, or hey, I shouldn't have done that, but I listened to what other people told me to do instead of what felt right to me at the time. Even if the situation is not what you expected to be or what you envisioned it to be, you can make it what you envisioned to, because we create our own reality. But it just takes time for it to become the manifestation. And when you think you see a sign, it's sometimes fear that you're like, oh no, I don't want to deal with this situation because I've dealt with that situation before, and you're fearful of going into it because you know how you reacted in those situations. But at the same time, if you're aware of the situation, then you can choose to not react the same way that you reacted before and overcome those challenges and not let it overwhelm you. So it's like, that's why it's so hard to hear our intuition and the signs and all these things, because sometimes we don't know. So again, be patient, don't rush. If you're feeling overwhelmed by the decision, do your routine and put a pause on it, and then it will problem solve in the background for you. And if it keeps coming into your mind, because it's going to come intrusively, then get to a place where whatever choice you make is a peaceful one, that you feel like, okay, I know I'm going to be giving up this, but I'm going to be gaining this. And are you okay with giving up that to gain? So it's like, you're going to be giving up this to gain this, and which one is more worth it? That's what you always have to ask yourself at the end of the day. And part of it is like, are you staying in your comfort zone? Yeah, you have the stability of a place. Yeah, you have nature. These are all comforts that we have. But are you growing anymore? Is that place offering you growth? If it's not, and you have to go to somewhere that's more challenging, but you're going to be met with growth, community, soul tribe, passions, opportunities. And yeah, you may be dealing with stresses in this place, but you're still in your comfort zone because you figured out your whole routine and how everything works for you, but you're not growing. You're not leveling up in the areas that you want to level up in terms of your opportunities, your career, all of these things. And it's kind of like you're in this place of stagnancy. So it's like, yeah, that's where you have to look at each place. What was it meant for? Like, this place was meant for me to heal and get my nervous system reset. And now that I got it, I'm like, what's next? So it's like, don't shy away from something because it's a risk and there's going to be challenges. No, look at it as like, I'm going to face those challenges head on. I'm going to deal with it and I'm going to overcome it and I'm going to handle it better than I ever did before. It's all your belief system, what you believe inside, and then how you choose to handle each situation. Whether you choose to let it overwhelm you and consume you, or whether you choose to be like, okay, what's the solution? How can I get myself out of the situation? How can I make the situation better? So yeah, just changing your perception. So it's just changing your perception to see things in a new light. Any situation, wherever you are, it's all your perspective and how you envision your reality to look like. If you want a different reality, start envisioning it and start taking aligned action to make things different. So just start seeing things in a different way by choosing to see things from a positive rather than negative state. That what cannot work out instead of what can work out from each situation.